North Vancouver, the sun is shining and I got some new stats for you. This is your market update for the month of June. So depending on what you hear in the news, the market hasn't been great, but when it comes to detached homes in North Vancouver, we see a sales to active ratio of 20.9%, meaning that we're in a seller's market. Now looking at inventory, we saw 381 active listings. Now that is a 27% increase from this time last year. And then we look at the sales, we saw 81 sales with an average days on market sitting in and around 18. Now benchmark pricing is at $2,240,000. That's a 2.6% decrease from this time last year. Now when we get to condos, it's a little bit of a different story. We're more in a balanced market where we saw the sales to active ratio sitting in and around 17.4%. Now, when we look at inventory, we have seen an increase of almost 34%, where we saw 474 active listings, and we saw 84 sales for this time last month. Now, days on market for a condo is sitting in and around 26. With that benchmark pricing not really moving, it's at $815,000 for a condo. Now, last but certainly not least in North Vancouver are townhomes. We saw townhomes at a sales to active ratio in and around 21.6%, meaning we are in a seller's market. However, when we look at the active listings, we saw 156 active listings. Now that's a 12% increase from this time last year. We did see 33 sales, and average days on market for a townhome is sitting in and around 16. However, we have seen that benchmark pricing has decreased 5.3% to a new benchmark price for a townhome at $1,351,000. So the big piece of real estate news is the Bank of Canada held that key interest rate at 2.7%, meaning that maybe this economy isn't as bad as everyone thinks, or they would have reduced that interest rate a little bit, maybe a lot, but however, that's a good thing if you are a seller. And if you're a buyer, you might have a little bit more confidence jumping back into the market. Now, if you have any questions about what's going on in the market, you're curious to know what your home's worth, or just want to talk to me, my name's Anthony Trinetti. And remember, when you're ready, call Trinetti.